Welcome back, everyone, to another video. It's been a while since I decided to sit down and record one of these. Today, we're going to be talking about a new movie that I watched probably about a month ago at this point. Watched it with a friend on Amazon with like the little chat thing they have to watch movies together. Watch Party, I think is what it's called. I watched Past the Glory. This was recommended to me by Silver Hawkins from the ACG Discord. He's a big movie person. He thinks this is one of the all-time greats. So I went ahead and sat down. It's a relatively short movie. I think it's like an hour and like 20 minutes. 88 minutes, that's what it is. 88 minutes. So I was about right, an hour, 20 minutes there. So it's written by Stanley Kubrick, as we know, from the same guy who wrote The Shining, or directed The Shining. It is starring, I have a list over here, Kirk Douglas, Ralph Meeker, Adolph Menjou, George McCready, Wayne Morris, and Richard Anderson. This is a movie that's just supposed to, I guess, talk about the atrocities that can happen in war. Is the general gist of it, how dark war can be and how sad the whole thing can be. So you follow a general as he decides that, or for his fame, he's going to sacrifice a whole unit to attack what is known as the Anthill, which is a super easily defensible position that you probably shouldn't attack head on. But they want to take the anthill by the next day-ish, and they decide, nope, we're going to sacrifice them all, and they're all going to go attack the anthill. You go into the trenches as that general is telling them that. You meet the main commander. I might have these positions flipped around, but which is played by Kirk Douglas, and he's like, look, you're going to attack the anthill. Kirk Douglas is like, that's nuts. That's not possible. We're not going to take it. It's not going to happen. And he was like, cool, get over it. You're going to do it. And so you go around, you get introduced to some other characters. You have three characters you get introduced to, which is like three of the so we've got General, Commander, Lieutenant, I guess, I don't know, who goes out on a scouting run for the anthill, ends up freaking out too much and killing another soldier, and pretty much threatens another soldier that if you say anything to anyone, you're done, I'm going to get you killed in this next day's thing, you're not making it out. And so it happens. The next day rolls over. They start their assault on the anthill. It's terrible. It's a little funny to watch because it is an older movie, and the people dying is pretty cheesy acting. Like they'll get hit by a giant explosion, it looks like, and they'll just fall over like they got shot by a gunshot. But yeah, the whole idea is that it's this like failure of an operation. It's all going on. The general from the beginning, who's just trying to gain fame and glory, is watching on. And he gets pissed as he realizes some people aren't going to get out of the trenches to attack the anthill because every time they've tried, someone has either died or they keep getting pelted by mortar fire. And he's like, well, fine then. If they won't attack the anthill, then we will attack them. He tries to order his mortar unit to go in and attack them, and it doesn't pay out well. From there, essentially, the show becomes about this court case. That's the main focus of the show, is after this anthill. I got a little farther in the plot maybe than I wanted to, but it's not heavily spoiled. This is the first 20 minutes of the movie. And then you get involved in a bunch of political intrigue where three soldiers from that attack, they're deemed cowardly, so they have to sacrifice three troops for their cowardice and how they couldn't take the anthill that day. And it plays upon that. It becomes a really nice, it's fast. It's a fast-paced movie, I guess is the way I would put it. It doesn't feel like the action's dead, even though a good chunk of it takes place in a court. They're keeping you intrigued in the lives and the things that are going to happen to these different soldiers as they are essentially sitting on death row waiting to die. Yeah, and from there it falls apart. He does a great job. Like I said, I think the pacing's fantastic. You're constantly intrigued in what's going to happen, and it's relatively simplistic. I like that. A lot of new movies have to have a lot of exposition. This movie doesn't need that much. There are a bunch of French soldiers who were supposed to attack this hill. They failed. Now they're trying to execute three of them for failing, for being cowards, even though they just essentially went on a mission to their deaths for someone else's glory. So yeah, overall, beyond that, I thought it was written well. I think the points that they make, especially at the end of the movie, are really, really enjoyable. Kirk Douglas does a great job. One of my favorite characters is who I brought up, was the guy that they try to order to mortar the people for not leaving the trenches. Me and my friend were loving that character. We're like, that character's going to come back. He's going to come back. It's going to be great. And it was great. It was good. It was really enjoyable. And for an older time movie that's somewhat cheesy, I guess, because the acting is not as refined as acting is today, I guess, in a sense. I don't know how to put that into words well. it has impactful meanings. Like, it's a little depressing to watch a bunch of people be told that they're going to have to give up their lives for their country when they're thinking it's for their country. It's really just for the betterment of another individual. By the way, I just realized I'm loving that the snacks are chilling on my bed. I was hungry, you know. Gotta love some pretzels. Had to point them out. My ADHD just caught that in my webcam. But yeah, that's about it for the gist of the movie. I think it was really enjoyable, especially for a black and white film. You know, I get worried going back into older films because I feel like they're going to be boring, is the way to put it. Sometimes I feel like maybe they just have really basic storytelling that's not engaging. This movie's not one of them. I see why people think this is a all-time classic. I enjoyed it. It was up there. I don't know if I enjoyed it maybe as much as like Parasite or The Killing Fields, but it's definitely a movie that could have inspired them based off being, well, not Parasite, but maybe more The Killing Fields being off this retelling of well, I don't even know if it's a real event. I don't know if the attack on the anthill is a real thing or if they just set this whole thing up to discuss wartime discussion. Other than that, it's good to come back and talk about this. I have one more movie I've seen. I've seen Color Out of Space. I watched that with my dad. I'm going to see if I can get his opinion on that movie and what he thought. But yeah, other than that, I'm at a loss for words in the sense of what to say because it took me so long to sit down and watch this movie or write this. I didn't even write it. Just talk about this movie and talk about my thoughts on it. But I wanted to get back in the habit of getting down and talking to y'all and having a good time talking about movies I watched. I just picked up Hellboy, and I picked up what else I picked up? Ghost in the Shell, the original, both in 4K. So I'm gonna watch those and see how those play out and how enjoyable they are. But other than that, thanks for stopping by. Feel free to leave any comments you want. Talk about what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're doing during quarantine, anything fun you want to talk about or that's been engaging you recently. I'd love to hear about that. We did get a new gaming chair. I was going to get an office chair, but I just needed a new chair. My chair had broken that I've been using for the past few videos, so we needed to update it, get it a little more updated, looking better. So yeah, other than that, have a good one. Grab yourself some snacks if you're hungry. Drink some water, you know. And thanks for stopping by. I'm a TMG Penty. Feel free to check out the links below to my other channels. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday most of the time starting around 8 to 9 p.m. Just depends on me getting home eating and if I want to shower or something before the stream. Other than that, have a good one and thank y'all for stopping by, okay?